Hi guys, how's it going? Okay, so today we're going to talk about the Mercury retrograde, and I love Mercury retrogrades because this is our opportunity to go within and really listen to our inner dialogue and our deeper spiritual self, actually, and listen to those divine inspirations and that guidance to get us kind of going on the path that's really going to be the best for us. So it's a great opportunity to reprogram ourselves and align ourselves with our manifestations slash co-creations. And hi, if you don't know me, my name is Jenna, and I like to talk about astrology here and how you can use the energy in the sky for your manifestations so you can co-create with the universe in the best way possible, because you get a little boost when you do that. Manifesting is good and all, like without using the planets, but if you can use the planets, it just makes it extra powerful. So here they are, very exciting. We use the true sky here so we can use the real energy with where the planets are actually at. I am a true sky astrologer now. I don't use tropical. Tropical is based on the seasons from 2000 years ago. And that doesn't really give us the power to use the planets for manifestation. I actually think like billionaires use the true sky and millionaires use tropical, because we can't like use the seasons from 2000 years ago to use the energies of the planets now. That just doesn't work. And I also found out I've gone through a lot of realizations with switching actually to the true sky. And I will make a video about that. I'm just waiting to like calm down a bit because I've been really like kind of enraged about the whole thing, because I feel like a lot of people are being bamboozled right now straight up into using the tropical system, which is just not as good. Like it's not precise even. If you start using the true sky, you see how accurate and precise it is, like by the minute. Tropical astrology is like buying a watch from Walmart, and it's that kind of precision with the timing of things. And true sky astrology is like getting a Rolex where it has a ton of dials and it's just so precise, so accurate by the second, by the moment. I mean, literally, I was traveling, and the second while I was boarding the plane, the moon exactly moved into my ninth house. And it's that kind of precision that has been just blowing my mind constantly since I switched. That is like, it's magical. It's like really just like dealing with the divine. It's like a divine interface. It's like not such of a disconnection from nature and the cycles and the divine and God. But anyway, so I'm going to make a longer video about that. And right now we're going to focus on the retrograde and how you can use it. So here we are. We got the sun just entering Libra 2 days ago, actually. And the seasons are off, by the way, you guys. Like this, like me following true sky astrology has shown me that the seasons are off because you feel it when the sun moves into a different sign. I mean, it's super, super obvious when the sun is moving from Leo, like bright, blazing Leo, and, in the in-between period until it gets into Virgo, it's a different energy. And then when the sun moves from Virgo, because Virgo is a little chaotic, honestly, that's why we've been a little all over the place. Then when it moves into Libra, like this is so much more calm and peaceful. And you recognize like how like it's equally, day and night now. It feels just like that smooth calmness and peace, after all of that readjusting things and focusing on the details and our habits and, our routines and knowing what we're done with, what we're throwing away, what we're keeping. And now it's just like, it's very calming. Like I took a picture of the sunrise today, and it's so different than when it's in Virgo also. And yeah, it's just like foggy. You can feel like us going into the winter season and everything. So I think, the autumn equinox is actually around this time. But like that's the whole thing with our systems kind of being messed up right now, but it's done that way intentionally because it keeps our mind and our bodies disconnected. So we're not like fully embodied. And, because when we're embodied, we're really, really powerful. We get that mind heart connection and we get our intuition all the way on. So there's a lot of systems like that, with the Gregorian calendar and everything, that keep us in just, time and hours in general. We're not supposed to be running that way. That keep us disconnected from our full selves. So I think, paying it, maybe reorienting the seasons to where they're supposed to be, is a powerful way that we're going into to the future. But I'm still figuring all of this out, like I've only been doing True Sky, for the last couple months. So I'm going through this whole like inner understanding with it all. But we start out with Mercury in Scorpio, and it's going to go into Libra, and then it goes direct September 1st. But let's go through its little journey here. So the Mercury retrograde starts on the 10th, and then on the 12th, it's going to be conjunct Mars. Well, maybe 12th, 13th, it's going to conjunct Mars in Scorpio. So this is a little bit aggressive, with Scorpio energy, you feel so deeply like you can be feeling, I know people are just like extra moody right now. And sometimes, with Scorpio energy, we go to those deep, dark places. And especially if we have been ignoring those deeper soulful needs, if we have been suppressing our own divine feminine. Scorpio energy has majorly been under attack for a very long time by religion, by society. Healthy Scorpio energy is really powerful with being protective, like not being afraid to, it is like the calm, peaceful, eye of the storm energy. But at the same time, it is protective and it is vicious and it can be a bitch, which isn't a bad thing. You can be both. This is the divine feminine energy that is very, very powerful that we can really harness. And we really can listen to those triggers where we have been suppressing our own needs, where we haven't been letting ourselves have a joyful life. Because a joyful life is actually what reconnects us to the higher realms in our higher selves and to spirit. And, our passion, even sexual repression, all these things that we might have been really repressing and shoving deep down. So we ignore like where our soul is calling us. Where can we be the most powerful? What is worth protecting? Where do we want to put our time and our energy? And with Mars conjuncting Mercury, like we're going to like kind of know exactly what we're angry about and what needs to be adjusted. And it might come up in a deep, like guttural feeling. And it could be anger. It could be rage. It could be, guilt, it could be sadness. And actually, let me kind of get this one thing. And the more and more I'm learning about emotions, actually, the more I'm learning that like all our sicknesses really come from repressing emotions, and that's why modern medicine, like especially medicine that kind of dulls like your feelings, makes it worse. It pushes the sickness deeper into your body and you get worse versus like just recognizing when you feel that pain, what emotion are you actually suppressing? And when you kind of get to that realization, that releases your body because your body's just letting you know what, emotions you're repressing. So this is going to be a great time to kind of journal and kind of do the inner work. But so anxiety is like you're not expressing your energy. Depression is you should be angry about something and you should make a change. So let yourself get angry and make the change. Jealousy, you want that. You've been stopping yourself from having something. You have to go after that. If you're feeling stuck, you actually know what you need to do, but you've been avoiding it. If you're triggered, that's a shadow that has been ruling your life still and making you make choices out of that wound. And you got to like heal that wound. You got to kind of, look into that wound and look into that shadow, because the shadow is always where our power is. And us having awareness around that shadow like gives us our power. Are you feeling vengeful? Wounds are still governing your choices right now. That's kind of the same thing. Restless, your spirit is being aligned to a certain direction. So I love that, because if you're feeling restless, you want to follow your curiosity, you want to follow your excitement. You just gotta go wherever you're being called to go, and you don't know why, but like that's your spirit kind of tugging you in a certain direction. If you're angry, you got to honor your fire. You've been disempowering yourself in some way. And, it might be from some sort of pain that you've been, suppressing yourself. But look where you need to move. You get fire, you get that anger because you need to move somewhere. If you're feeling guilty, you got to see where you haven't been aligned in your life. What do you need to cut out of your life? What changes do you need to make to get aligned? If you're feeling shame, you're not recognizing your own worth, so this is where you need to recognize your worth and, not feel bad about it and own it, Fear, you're at the edge of growth. This is where you're on that threshold. So it's very scary. If you're feeling fearful, you're at the threshold, and it's all about just being shoved over that threshold. So you get to the other side and you're like, oh, this is why. And you just feel more expansive on the other side of that. If you're feeling sad, something important is missing. This is your moment to find more self-love first. This is where you always need to work from that place of self-love. And then, you can find more love externally. And, there's a bunch of other ways you can kind of look into whatever your emotions so you can transmute them. But that's what Scorpio energy is all about. And when we do that, we set ourselves free. We allow ourselves to step more into our power, and we heal ourselves. And let me go into the Scorpio archetype in an in-depth way. I really want to dive deeper into the archetypes of the constellations and everything, and not just base them on the Greek stuff, because I feel like that's another thing with tropical. I feel like how do I say this? Like they stripped a lot of the spirituality, and the ancestry and just our roots away from, the sky. Because if you know the true story of the sky and all the constellations and everything, you actually get to know our true full history, and you get in touch with, our spiritual lineage and everything. And that's why, it's kind of dumbed down with the Greeks and everything. So let's get into this, because the more you kind of know like the whole Scorpio archetype, the more powerful you can be. Okay, so Scorpio energy, it is strong, powerful intuition that you receive in those intense emotions that you can't really ignore. And if you repress those emotions, that's where, you get stuck, in general. So, but when you free those emotions, you have a lot of independence, because you have that strong connection to source and your higher self. And you just trust yourself to be like so, grounded in who you are. You can be the eye of the storm. It's loyal, successful with recognition of power, If you repress Scorpio energy, because it's easy to do in this day and age, because everyone wants you to suppress it, because they call, those impulses crazy, or maybe even paranoia, or, just illogical. It's that extremely powerful divine feminine energy. And if you're in flow with that energy, then you're going to be very, very powerful. Because there's no mistaking it. It is like powerful, deep, guttural, like just strong emotions. So you can make those changes. These are the emotions that are the fuel for change because they're so intense. So you can't be afraid of whatever you're feeling, during this time. This is the anger that you can channel into something. This is like where you can channel your, any like past emotions into some sort of creativity, getting it out of your system. Scorpio is just powerfully creative. And sometimes it's the creativity that's a little messy sometimes because it's not afraid to, work with the shadow, So, just like the deeper, like emo music or whatever, like that, it is like that messy, dark kind of art that can kind of be very transmutive to yourself and then helpful for other people because it's not just dealing with the light and fluffy part of life. Scorpios are master healers, just physically and emotionally, like master healers, because you guys are actually the anchors of these higher dimensions. The star here on Taurus, this is actually the heart of the scorpion. It is the portal to the higher dimensional galaxies like the Andromedan galaxy. And they're the protectors of this portal too. So they're very aware and very psychic. And if you have placements that are close to this part, you are more so a emotional healer because the physical healers are more so on this side of the scorpion. But close to Antares, like, you would be a very strong emotional healer. And there's probably just a lot of people that come up to you and tell you their story, but it's very healing to them, just your presence alone, because you have those higher dimensional frequencies within you that, you're just, transmuting them for others and yourself. And you're kind of an anchor to the higher frequencies, actually, the higher realms. And that's why you're actually gifted with being a long-term planner, Scorpio. Like you see the big picture, you see like what's really worth it. So you will be patient, you will like hold back, you will like, just, see that bigger picture and what's worth your time. And, just steadily like go towards it. Like all fixed signs, I think that's just a fixed sign thing, kind of gifted with the bigger picture. But yeah, you're kind of like a spiritual awakening protector too, and we're in this age of just spiritual awakening in general. So you kind of have this innate intuitive knowledge with how spiritual awakenings work and everything. And, it's very much so that like mother goddess consciousness energy, just a natural nurturer, a natural caretaker, especially towards the ones that you truly care about. And oh my gosh, if anybody like hurts anybody that you truly care about, that's exactly where like there's power with this too, because you're not afraid to annihilate anybody who crosses those kind of boundaries. And that's that powerful divine feminine energy also. That's like powerful with really protecting, and drawing that boundary, directing your, but also directing your energy like towards what is actually worth your time and back towards like what feels good, what is worth your time and your energy, and kind of going more so in that direction. So you're a fierce protector of just your boundaries and your joy in your space. And you're really, I mean, Scorpio energy. Oh my God, your homes, like everything is so nice and neat and organized. But at the same time, you guys are masters of creating a vibe because you're masters of bringing those higher dimensional energies into this reality. So every single time I walk into somebody's home that has heavy Scorpio, you guys like create your own realm and everything. And it's very high vibrational. And like, it's always like so beautiful to walk into. And this is part of your talent for being the eye of the storm. You create your space for others to come into, others to feel and heal and kind of really, really reconnect to that deeper part of themselves, but also with what's joyful in life. The goddess Bastet actually rules this Scorpio in Egyptian astrology or Egyptian mythology, Egyptian astrology and everything. And I kind of love, I mean, her energy is all about this, but they turned her into a little kitty cat. So that's again, like dimming down the divine feminine, because like you're supposed to just be soft and, you know, that place of comfort and that, you know, sensual and everything. And just like that energy versus the fierce protector, like will rip your head off. Like if you come in if you come and disturb the peace. Oh yeah. Also, and Taurus like was a goddess too. And she was the lamenting goddess. You know, she's the goddess that goes to funerals and deals with people during heavy times because she has that power. She's completely benevolent, and she has that power to just transmute. And she does it with just complete empathy. You know, she can deal with the most intense situations, but she deals it with, you know, just a complete empathic way. So Bastet was that raw, untamed, powerful, feminine energy. You know, a deep need for peace and sensual pleasure and loving connection, those deep connections that you can only have with, creating that kind of safe space. That's the only way that you can really go in depth like that. And yeah, they turned her into a little kitty cat to say basically the feminine can only be the good girl, and if you got to choose, be the good girl or be the angry bitch. You can't be both, but you can be both. So, yeah, just like not being afraid. You suppress your own power when you're suppressing your anger or frustration or, you know, any of those yuckier emotions, or even your sensuality and in your joy. Like there's been such a attack with the church and everything to like, you know, like it's evil, like to be sensual and to really be in your sexual power and your sexual energy. But that's how we literally connect Kundalini to our higher selves and everything, into the higher realms. And yes, she was that powerful feminine energy where she would protect the land and everything. There's the power with carrying the peace that transcends into the higher dimensions. You know, it's like we can get so angry or, you know, just let those emotions rule our lives, in the 3D. But like when you can connect to the higher dimensions of peace, love, tranquility, that really gets people to like heal and transcend. So that's actually where the power is, you know, being able to transcend the chaos of the world with having those strong boundaries, not being afraid to speak up for yourself if someone crosses those boundaries, and really recognizing your own innate power. Scorpios are also just the masters of the unseen world. You guys are the psychic protectors. You can see in the dark. You know, you are very discerning. You see that, you feel the energy coming. You feel like the energetic space before anyone enters it. So you can draw the boundary and just be like, you know, extra aware, you know, so you're not crazy. You're not crazy. You just sense the truth in such a powerful way. And you're really just a frequency master. That's the most important thing right now. You know when somebody's being very authentic and real. And if someone's coming in with like a shady agenda, it's like, all like red alert, like, you know, there's no getting past you. So you are the guardian of energetic spaces, you know, namely your own space, but whatever space you create for anybody, like you like are a guardian of like, you know, just psychic attacks and, just you have this ability to have such a high vibe, like, and create high vibe, like, places that, you know, it can't be messed with if you choose to protect, you know, whatever you decide to protect. So yeah, you're kind of immune to like any subtle manipulations, anyone that's not fully telling the truth because you feel truth and there's no getting past that. And you are the ultimate spiritual boundary keeper. Yep, because of that. And you pour the deepest love out of any of the signs, the deepest, most profound type of love that is actually from the higher dimensional realms into what you truly care about, whether it is family and loved ones and those close relationships. There's no one that can love as deeply and like fully as, a Scorpio. And, it's important to be very unapologetic about that. Whatever you feel fully love and care about, like really, pour yourself into that. The best way that you can be the most powerful is having those strong boundaries, knowing what nourishes you right away and what is draining you. Put up the boundary, know what you cut out, what you need to cut out, because you literally have that intuition where you can move like a cat. And if you watch a cat, like, they feel something, like they're very attuned to frequencies in general. So they feel something, they know, they pop up, they move with their intuition. So just know that it's really that powerful. You should be in flow, moving with your intuition. But Oh yeah, and it is important to kind of like anybody that has strong Scorpio energy, and just during this time, and that's how we can release the blocks, is to realize, where have we been denying ourselves? Where have we not been unapologetically allowing ourselves to pursue our joy? Because when we allow ourselves to unapologetically pursue our joy and our happiness and those higher vibrational soul feelings, then that's where we get the enlightenment. That's where we can raise our consciousness. That's where we can deal with Libra easier, because Libra is actually all about, it's not like the societal, judgment and whatever. Truth and justice are already just built into Libra. So Libra's actually all about like, how high is your frequency? And there's no lying about that. It's just like this universal construct, that like is a part of this reality. But let me finish with Scorpio. So yeah, pleasure is not a distraction from the divine. It's the doorway. So this is where we need to really find what is deeply pleasurable to us. Bastet actually was the one that had the party boat in the Nile. And she created the best parties, and Scorpios, you really do create the best parties too, because you get the vibe, you get the food, you get all the comforts, you get everything. And that was actually, and it was very important to do that during certain times of the year, like with the seasons and with the equinoxes and everything. So we can, be reconnected to spirit actually, so not being afraid to allow ourselves to really have a lot of joy, fun, pleasure, food, all the good things, and know that you're worthy of it. So you can prioritize that. And so you can live a really, fulfilling 3D earthly existence, because that's the only way to live a 3D, very fulfilling experience. And then, you connecting to your passion and your pleasure raises your consciousness. Intuition and your joy, beauty is actually a spiritual practice. And when you disconnect yourselves from the pleasure and beauty in life, you're actually disconnecting yourself from your own soul. So this is a great time to really get into what is beautiful to you. What is, how can you live more so in beauty? And that can really connect you to more of your deeper soul essence. And I find that's the best way to, just really externalize what's internal too, is really finding how you want to represent yourself in a certain way, how you want to decorate your space, bringing your soul essence, into this reality. And wherever you're just living in low grade guilt, And wherever you're policing your joy is where you need to break out of that during this time. Because this is where, when you allow yourself to, just not feel guilt for having fun and enjoyment and enjoying the beauty in life, that's where you reclaim your power. In that highest vibrational level, like what's really like just feels good to your soul too. And that's important to prioritize that. So let's move on to Libra now. So Mercury enters Libra on the 17th. So let's get into, look how cute that is. I love this system so much. So let's get into Libra. Libra energy is divine justice. And I love, I went into Ma'at for this. She was the Egyptian goddess, but she's also kind of just the energetic system that this matrix was kind of built into for divine order, that, which is natural. We don't need judges. We don't need kings. Like there is a, divine order that is just built into this cosmos. And, it's karma, basically. Ma'at existed from the beginning. This is the feminine, like that's how it always works. The feminine has that field, the energetic field, and the masculine, works through it. So Libra energy is all about truth, balance, harmony. It's the energy of creation that keeps us all accountable. It's the laws. It's the Hermetic laws, the Kabbalion, the laws of the universe. This is the law. And there's no cheating the law. It doesn't matter how things look on the surface. It is all about your frequency at the end of the day and how are you living in alignment. Because when you're living more alignment, you go higher in frequency, you go higher up in dimension, and everything just kind of naturally becomes more peaceful and in flow and very synchronistic. It's not like, if you break the rules or the laws or whatever, that you're bad and you're going to hell and, all of that. It's literally just that your frequency falls and you fall into dissonance and misalignment. And things just get a little rough. Things get a little chaotic. So this is really all about how we can align more so with cosmic truth, not like rules of this or laws of your country or your city or anything. This is how you can more so become the embodiment of, your own conscious alignment for your own like balance, truth, and harmony. And how we do this is actually by really following our heart. We listen to our hearts. We have to listen to that deeper aspect within us. We have to give ourselves a little bit of silence and a little bit of space so we can really tune into ourselves and listen to our own truth. And at the end of the day, it's all about how did you have the purest heart? How did you fully live from your heart and your own inner truth? Were you true to your spirit? Where aren't you true to your spirit? Where do you need to make those changes and let these cycles go so you can create more peace? Because this is majorly where we can release a lot of karma and kind of raise like ourselves up a little bit. This is where we can have that peaceful awareness of what we need to let go of and what we need to move on from, and then where we can move kind of in a more higher direction with a higher knowing. Libra energy is all about kind of getting more in tune with that higher knowing too. So we can really listen to our intuition and our inspiration. And actually that's how spirit can majorly talk to us too, is where are those ideas, where are those exciting relationships and communication that's kind of guiding us in a certain direction. So, we can follow our spirit a little bit more. So we can create a better structure for ourselves and how we can live from the heart to find more of live from our heart to find more harmony that is just harmonious for our soul. But when you do that, you also find souls that are also in harmony. This is Libra energy is all about relationships. So this is romantic relationships. This is friendships, community, your tribe, your soul tribe. When you allow yourself to live more in harmony and embody more of your frequency, this is where you kind of connect with people, where it'll just flow a lot easier. So you can have your soul tribe reconnect or connect with soul tribe during this time. And, when Mercury is going to be going in Libra, this is like, reevaluating who's in your life, who feels just harmonious and going in the same direction, who's maybe, not like they were there for a reason in a season, but we don't, in this soulfully evolving journey, relationships like do help us evolve massively. And not everyone's supposed to be there for the entire time. And that's just how it goes. But at the same time, relationships massively help us spiritually evolve into higher levels also. And how can you balance out your relationships for more harmony? The more that we can recognize those old ways of being in relationships from that we have been programmed with, from, just like Disney movies or from soap opera drama or whatever, like where can we just like decide differently so we can just choose our own peace and our own happiness and, speak up for yourself and be radically honest. There's power with Libra actually, with not trying to keep the peace and not you can wait until like everything goes back into Scorpio to really say something, but actually power with Libra is actually with radical honesty, because that's how, and you do it in a very fair way. Like, everyone has their own, journey and everything. But if you're radically honest, you will have less chaos in your life. So this is our opportunity to see where we can be radically honest. And even if it's an uncomfortable truth, it's always just best to be honest to your, from your heart, from your soul, so you can, get in alignment. So you are living by the natural laws of the universe. So how we balance out the Libra things is just radical honesty, but at the same time, conscious actions and choices along with that honesty. So you can come to a lot of clarity with what is really truthful to you during this time. And then you align your actions and your choices, along with that. And there's so much actually, like when you make that internal choice, like, you just open up all the other pathways where you can take that right action and make those conscious choices to create more peace and harmony in your life. And then also realize that frequency is a harmonizing force. If you have been focusing on your frequency and raising it and everything, there's so much power with just embodiment, and your embodiment and you choosing your own peace and harmony does change the relationships around you, because they do see that, you're living, in a different way. And, there's so much more to frequency that transmits this higher knowing in that more unconscious way than we're really aware of. And I've seen so many of my relationships change since I've been raising up in frequency too. Like, it starts with peace. It doesn't start with the old chaos and everything. And, your frequency does affect and harmonize the area around you and people around you. You realize that your frequency is actually a harmonizing force. And it's interesting, but it's really awesome too at the same time. So you finding more peace and balance within yourself and paying attention to your own frequency is always going to be a harmonizing force for other relationships in your life. So a good thing to ask right now is, where in your life do you need more peace, harmony, and happy, good relationships? And where can you create a happier life? And where can you be truthful for yourself? And this can so powerfully bring you into alignment. So I love this, combination, because here, emotionally, we're listening to our soul at that deep, powerful level. And then here we can really be diplomatic with making the changes in everything and going towards creating more peace and harmony and abundance and beauty and all of that. So let's keep on going. And, the Cazimi happens right here on the 20th. So that's really nice. Along a scale. I haven't really looked into the deeper meanings of the scale and everything, but this is also where you'll receive that light bulb moment. There's going to be something in your life where you can ask yourself, where can you have more harmony? Where can you have more balance? Where can you be deeply, truthfully honest with yourself, to live more so in your soulful alignment? And then we have Venus on the 24th, Cazimi. Okay, pretty much. And a Venus Cazimi, this is also like, just we're going to get like communication can come our way. We can really get internally aware when it comes to love, money, relationships, what we really value. And again, like how can we, create more harmony, balance, peace? How can we live with that true soulful alignment in our lives? And also another thing I wanted to say, like, your frequency is so powerful with like kind of raising other people's frequency. Like I see it over and over and over again. Like, you just around them and then you see them again and they're like just so much more awake and just finding their own peace and harmony and everything. And just like you don't have to control them, you just have to focus on you. You just have to focus on your own peace, what you truly value, what you truly love. How can you create more of that? Because Venus is all about creating too. How can you be receptive to that? And this is, a really, really beautiful alignment in Libra. Okay, because Venus does really, really well in Libra too. So that's like a big boost for money, relationships, values, and all of that. And that's pretty much it. Mercury goes direct on the 1st, goes to the, edge of Libra almost, and then it goes back. So that's very exciting. All right, so let's get into all the signs. All right, so Libra, this is going to be traveling through your 1st house and your 2nd house. So there's going to be an internal dialogue and just maybe reprogramming if you want. And I love reprogramming, obviously, with affirmations, subliminals, all of that. And with your appearance and with 2nd house things, which is money and what you value. And so you can kind of go through reflection with how you make money. Do you need to have more negotiations with your boss? And do you got to realize more of your value, more of your worth? How can you change that internal dialogue so you really recognize your worth and your value, and you can ask for more money, or you can really channel that energy into what you've been meaning to create, not being afraid to start that business or that project. With Mars in the 2nd house, you're going to be extremely motivated and pumped up with making more money potentially. So any ideas that you have to execute that, and you will be able to do it in a very powerful way with Mars in Scorpio, go ahead, full steam ahead. You'll have the energy. If there's an idea that like boosts you up and like kind of lights you up, gives you that soulful passion, go after it. I also like this. Well, be wary of spending too much money with Mars anyway in the 2nd house. But any great money making ideas. This is also a great time to kind of like maybe blast through any guilt, shame, or any of those feelings towards money. So you can reprogram yourself to be very, very powerful with money and a powerful money maker and all of that. Boost up your value, boost up your worth during this time. And with it going into the 1st house again, it's like once you kind of do that deeper work of recognizing your value and recognizing your worth, recognizing how much money you can make, because that does make people feel good, then, you can like kind of represent yourself in new ways if you want. When Mercury is retrograding in your first house, you're going to be rethinking the way you represent yourself to the world. This is your body. This is, how you walk around in the world. This is your avatar. And maybe this is motivating you to kind of get a makeover, to feel more, to kind of feel as more externalize how powerfully you feel internally. You can definitely make adjustments to your appearance. There can be more miscommunications during this time because Mercury in the first house going retrograde, there can be, more delays and miscommunications and just waiting on things and needing things to come back together in a stronger way. But if you are doing that recognition internally first, then you will obviously always externalize the better things. It's all about that internal alignment first, not as much about the external. Oh my gosh, I got this earlier. So Actramus. Let me get the book. So Actramus, integrating the higher vibrations within your work and life. Actramus connects the Arcturian civilization, the peacekeepers of the galaxies. This beautiful, as a Libra, that's what you are too, or, you are the peacekeeper of the universe. So anyway, peacekeepers of the galaxy, this beautiful dragon announces himself to me by stating, I am the dragon Actramus of the seventh golden ray dimension. I am kin to the Atlantean dragons who were the seventh dimensional but chose to work with the fifth dimensional beings of Atlantis and oversee and raising vibrations of their vibration to the seventh dimension. So this is kind of what you're doing right now. You're raising everybody's vibration. If Actramus has joined your reading today, heed his word. The time has come for you to begin integrating with the seventh dimensional golden ray energy and initiate the process of anchoring its frequency into your being. This will enable you to shift the old layers of the 3D energy and release it naturally. It heralds the next phase of your incredible journey. Holding a clear holding a clear vibration allows us to view the world without judgment, be at ease with ourselves, and let go of negativity. By accepting Actramus into your life, you are acknowledging you are ready for old DNA coding and integrating the higher vibrations into your life. So yeah, this could inspire you to eat a little bit cleaner because the second house rules, how you eat. Maybe you want to start, working out or doing anything to kind of raise your own vibration so you can raise the vibration of others. But I love how, at the end of this retrograde, Venus is going to be in your first house. So that's a good time to get a makeover. You're going to be able to attract opportunities, job opportunities, relationships. You're just going to be feeling good, looking good, really, just beautiful out in the world. And you can really get a light bulb moment with how to do that in the best way for you and raise yourself into your higher vibrations. All right, Libra, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Scorpio, this is going to be going through your first house and 12th house. So the 12th house is where we kind of get in tune with our subconscious. The sun's going to be in there. So this is like your dreams could be more vivid. You could have just a stronger connection to your higher self. You could have just a very strong imagination, which our imagination is just a quantum manifestation tool and how we can kind of align to whatever timeline we want and make those choices and, kind of get the path laid out in a lot clearer way so we can go in the best direction for us. But it's a great time to have a dream journal. You could be majorly kind of clearing out the past and what was subconsciously like kind of holding you back from doing anything that you're supposed to be doing or want to be doing. And it's like a light bulb moment, like, oh, that was holding me back. That's how I was getting in my own way. So you can release that and just be a powerhouse more so out in the world. Because with the Mercury retrograde going on in your first house with Mars, like you're ready to be a powerhouse. With Mars in the first house, you're feeling it. You're feeling motivated. You're feeling driven. You're feeling ready to go conquer the world and everything. And maybe when Mercury goes retrograde, there's like a trigger of like, oh, that's how I've been holding myself back. And this is actually how I can, acknowledge more of my power and be more unapologetic for it. And yeah, step into that higher level embodiment, because I love transits from the 1st to the 12th, because you're getting in touch with your higher self and that higher dimensional self, where you can kind of embody more of it into this reality, into your 3D avatar. Because the first house is your body, it's your avatar, it's how you dress and all of that, and the ways you adorn yourself, and the ways you perceive things too, but the ways you take action, in the ways you take action out in the world from those perceptions, I guess. But yeah, this is maybe about giving less fucks about however everyone else is perceiving you, and then you just doing more of you and listening to those intuitive, strong instincts to go in the right direction for you. Okay, so you got serene, actually. I am the lapping waves and the morning sun. I think this is you being able to find, you're really getting in touch, with how you can create more peace, harmony, and balance in your life. And you're going to be motivated to maybe set some boundaries and to, make changes so you can create more peace, harmony, beauty, luxury, joy, prosperity in your life, whatever it is. But yeah, this looks like a very dreamy card. So let me read it. Gentle flowing water and a warming summer breeze depict this dragon's energy beautifully. Serene connects to the calm and resilient energy of the Mother Mary, so you can rest assured that life is going to settle down, especially if it has been rather turbulent of late. She says, I am the lapping of the waves in the morning sun. Allow me to wrap you in my blue cloak of tranquility and accept my presence as a pure calm settles around you. When your inner perceptions shift, so will your outer experiences. Yeah, this is very, very powerful. This is the perfect card for that, because if you're working with the 12th house and your subconscious, you can work with subliminals, you can work with affirmations. And when you just work on those shifts internally and create that awareness internally, that's actually how you create that reality. It starts internal first, and then you get to create it externally. So perfect card for that. Remember that the tranquility you seek lies within. The volatile outside scenario is only a mirror of the turbulence inside of you. Call upon me to guide you to that peace of heaven you crave. Observe your life experiences changing as they begin to mirror your inner feelings of serenity. She encourages us to go gently with ourselves. It says with ourselves. I'm going to say within. She encourages us to go gently within ourselves. We are quick to nurture others, but often neglect our own needs. We must feed ourselves with that which brings us joy and makes us feel alive. As we accept that we are important, our outer worldly experiences will reshape and shift in a positive way. So yeah, you're kind of getting recognition with what is really important to you. And if you've been dealing with triggering, anything at this time, you can actually just use that as direct feedback with what was within you, so you can have more internal awareness. So you can handle things differently. You empower yourself more. This is where we get in touch with what we were unaware of. And when you get that awareness, that's all it takes is awareness. You get to empower yourself more to create the kind of life that you want to create. And this is going to be a good time to nurture yourself, especially with Venus going into the 12th house. this is hermit mode, going on a spiritual retreat, really self-care, self-love, nurturing your own hopes and dreams and your own passion projects so you can externalize them in a really more powerful way. So yeah, recognize what you're joyful about, what gives you that peace and serenity. And yeah. All right, Scorpio, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. All right, Sagittarius, this is going to be happening in your 12th house and your 11th house. So the 12th house is our, subconscious. It's also where we're getting in touch with other realms and our higher self. And, this is where you're going to be a little bit restless. You might not be sleeping as much. You might have a lot of like vivid dreams, maybe even aggressive dreams. But all of these things can really bring your awareness to what you need to know. It's going to be a good time to have a dream journal. This is a great time to recognize if there's anything just that's super triggering within you, where you can do some more internal work, where you can do that subconscious work and kind of rewrite the program. So, you start externalizing the reality that you really want, because it all starts within, actually, with what we want to create. And, what we have, we create what's within us. So the more that we can boost up what's within us and put in the programs that we want versus the programs that we were programmed with by family, by school, by TV, by whatever, the more we give ourselves the awareness and freedom to create the reality that we want to create. Nala just came over here. So cat spirit can be significant for you. How can you flow more with your intuition, actually? How have you been suppressing your own intuition and not letting yourself to make that decision in the moment to go in a certain direction, like really listen to that inner being, and you will be very aware of it, And with Mercury going into your 11th house, this is who are you hanging out with? Who is your tribe? You might be reevaluating the people that you really hang out with, or the people that you co-create with when it comes to group projects. This is also reevaluating how you show up on social media. You can really have powerful insight with how can you bring more of your higher self online and like really, kind of shoot for the stars, because the 11th house is where you really get into alignment with your hopes and your dreams and your visions for the future, and you can aim really, really high. And when you're getting into alignment like that, then you'll meet the right people and you'll have the right opportunities that come your way. So dream really, really big with this Mercury retrograde, and then at the same time see how you how have you been holding yourself back, whether it is relationships or going and achieving your dreams. There can be, miscommunication and delays with projects or friends. So just be aware of that, but everything happens for a reason and everything. But yeah, with Venus moving into your 11th house later, like that's a big boost to meeting the right people and receiving opportunities and expanding your own world in a way that is in alignment with, your internal world, with who you truly are. And of course, you got two. Okay, so transformation. This is kind of like a big internal transformation that you're going through, which makes sense with Scorpio energy. Okay, so transformation. So crazy. He looks like a vicious, vicious butterfly. So, okay, a new you is emerging. That's for sure. So let it all go. Pain, fear, doubt, anger, sorrow, guilt. Yeah, this is where you're going to get in touch with those deep emotions from the past where you held yourself back or whatever you were angry at and what you need to let go of. Transformation tells us you no longer need these experiences. They are in the past. They have completed their task and have no place in your future. By holding on to them, you only keep yourself trapped in old patterns that are no longer of use or necessary to you. A new you is emerging, maybe a quieter, more considered you, but certainly a more powerful you. Having lived through a great many of things, now is the time for you to put that experience to good use. Follow your inner guidance and let your old habits and worries slip away. There will always be those who question what you do, but that is their journey. You are on yours. Follow the steps laid out before you. Trust your own inner light as you move toward a fresh way of being you. This transformation can be on any level and can affect any or every part of your life. Enjoy it and look out for signs and particular symbols, dragon love symbols. I like, yeah, dragon love symbols. Oh, that's fun. That's like pure love. As you are guided by the dragon of transformation to take your next steps. So, wow, I love how these cards are coming out perfectly. Oh, there's another page. Wait, is there? No. Wow. I mean, this is perfect for the subconscious. This is your subconscious Sagittarius, and a new you is being rebirthed. Like, and you're shedding all the pains, fear, guilt, shadows, so you can really like accept more of your power. And let me read Delphine. This seems definitely like the 11th house. This is like a lot lighter. This is a galactic dragon, I think. Yeah. Okay, so you can choose to heal and be healed or swim in the riptides. Delphine is the etheric counterpart of the whales and the dolphins. The whales are the Earth's record keepers, and the dolphins are our spiritual ancestors. They carry the blueprint of our spiritual existence here on Earth. The wise old dragon of the deep carries the same. I did dolphin healing because dolphins were like swimming by and they decided to like come towards me, and it was so magical. So if you live like near dolphins or an ocean, go sit in the ocean and call in a dolphin. They'll come in. Actually the last couple times I went to the beach, I saw a dolphin. So that's cool. Okay. This wise old dragon of the deep carries the same knowledge and understanding within the depths of his being. Delphine has this to say about our journey in the oceans of our planet. The waters of Earth can cleanse or maim, support or take life. You too are faced with a similar choice. You can choose to heal and be healed or swim in the riptides. Neither is wrong. It is only a matter of perspective and choice. You have been faced with arduous situations at times and made some bad choices too. Remember, you are human. As humans your race makes mistakes on occasion, poor decisions, but that is all a part of learning. It is time to forgive yourself and others and move on. Delphine tells us to look deep into our soul and ask, what is your purpose on earth? What is it that we must discover about ourselves as we healers, a spiritual guiding light for others to follow? Are we seekers of truth through science? Are we called to work with him possibly as ecologists, or even marine biologists? He is very useful to call upon when we feel stuck and unable to go with the flow. His presence acts as if a reminder that we would do well to stop struggling and surrender to the ebb and flow of life. For that which we resist persists, and it really, really does. Whatever you resist always persists. So your task is to uncover your driving passion and kickstart the job you came here to do. All right, Sagittarius, I hope that was very useful to you. And these are beautiful dragons. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. All right, Capricorn, this is a bigger one for you. At the top of the sky, this is who you are out in the world. This is the 11th house, and this is the 10th house. So there's the 11th house, this is your, or I'm going to start backwards. The 10th house, this is your career. This is who you are out in the world. How do you show up? What are you known for? There's a spotlight there, and there might be a need for you to make adjustments. If you want to make adjustments, if you want to change your job, if you want to start showing up out in the world in a certain way, like by joining a group, by moving, by how can you represent you more? So out in the world, this might And you're really getting into alignment with your hopes, dreams, and your visions for the future. The 11th house is all about your bigger, long-term aspirations. It's like shooting really, really far at your hopes and your dreams and your goals. It's that vision board. And you're going to be feeling intensely, soulfully, maybe just deep passions or what drive, like what are you really passionate about? And what is really motivating you? And it's like maybe you see somebody out in the world doing something that you get a tinge of jealousy with, and it's like that's for you. You can do that. You just have to make that choice and decide to do that, and then you'll be a powerhouse with going towards that. But there's a reevaluation with your hopes and your dreams and your higher off aspirations, so you can be in alignment with that deep soul pulse of where your soul is calling you. And this can also bring a realignment with your friends and your groups. And who are you co-creating with? Who are you collaborating with? And maybe there's an argument with somebody, and it's the last straw. It's like, okay, like let's put up that boundary, because this is what I actually want to be. This is who, like, I want peaceful friendships. I want people that are, like-minded. I want people that want to collaborate and co-create with me. And, that's how you can achieve more of your hopes and dreams in a faster way, is when you find your soul tribe. So this is a big, soul tribe realignment, putting up boundaries with who's not fitting, so you can, let the universe bring in people that are, just really fitting so well. Projects could be delayed. There could be miscommunications. So just be patient at the same time. But you're getting in tune with that internal dialogue with all of these things too. So how can you allow yourself to go to the highest heights and, go after what you really want and have the relationships you really enjoy and have more beauty, power, success, abundance, fun, whatever, passion trip out in the world, and getting into alignment with that. And maybe you have been at a career for a while, or a job, and this could be a great opportunity to start something or change things up, to ask for a raise, especially since Venus will be going into the 10th house too. It's easier to get a raise or promotion with that. And let's see what card comes up for you. Illuminaire. Ooh, so I love this. So it's like, how can you allow yourself to be more illuminated out in the world with who you truly are? And I think this is a galactic dragon too. Oh crap, my book got wet, but let me read this. That's a 4 in Roman numerals, Jenna. Okay, I got it. That's 6, 5, 4. Okay. So Luminaire, only truth has integrity and can stand the test of time. If you have picked a Luminaire today, hear this message. I illuminate what can't be seen, that which is hidden within you. Your truth needs to be seen and shared. You cannot hide behind your mask forever. Your shields of false protection don't serve. So yeah, I think don't serve you. Only truth has integrity and can stand the test of time. So you being deeply truthful and honest with who you are out in the world, whether it is to a friend or whether it is to a job or what you really want to do, what you want to be doing. Radical honesty helps you ascend and really sets you free. So Illuminaire is the first dragon I met who holds angelic as well as dragon energy. In this case, Archangel Uriel. Illuminaire appears as we are not listening and have been resisting what needs uncovering and changing within our lives. This is usually out of spiritual or personal nature. Rest assured, you are now ready to deal with whatever has been lurking in the depths of your being. Whether this is a spiritual awakening or a deep personal healing, it's ready to be activated. The rest of this message is this: spiritual warriors of Earth. Collectively, we can change the world, although humankind is not yet ready for us in all our might. You and others like you are preparing the way, anchoring the light into the planet, and you are continuing to amaze you. You're ready to continue your amazing journey of empowerment. Illuminary invites you to see the truth in all situations. He says, do not fear this illumination. Truth is a liberating and powerful ally. Your fears lie with change, but your open heart and welcome it at your core, allowing the light to guide you forward. Okay, wait, let me read that again. He says, do not fear this illumination. Truth is a liberating and powerful ally. Your fears lie with change, but open your heart and welcome it to your core. Allow the light to guide you forward. Yeah. So there's going to be truth, your own deep soul truth that is going to hit you with a ton of bricks, during this retrograde. And the more that you can align with that, and just be radically honest with yourself, or with whoever you need to be, with yourself first, and then whoever you need to be honest to after. The more you set yourself free and you get aligned on your path, and it is so much easier. Like, this is kind of like the change that I made with switching to True Sky too. I was like scared to, and I also had to go through like a spiritual crash out, like to fully make the change, because I was in that system for so long. That's I programmed myself with it. And then but I knew that's the thing with manifesting too. Like, you will be directed on your path, and your path isn't always going to be easy, and it's not going to look how you want it to look, but you have to listen to that inner truth, because that is going to be your path, and that's going to give you the most power. And it's scary, but your path is going to be illuminated, and then you'll know. So, and then it'll get you excited on the other side. But this is definitely like you're reaching a threshold, and you might be facing some of your own fears. But once you decide that, what your truth is within you, and you get pushed over that threshold, you find so much more expansion, and you find so much, you can find how you can really fully radiate out in the world too, like in the way that only you uniquely were meant to radiate. All right, Capricorn, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. All right, Aquarius, this could be a big one for you, because this is happening at Ingle House, but it looks really good. It looks really powerful. So the retrograde starts out in your 10th house, and this is your house of career, your reputation, who you are out in the world. And this is a powerful moment for you to truly get into alignment with that. There can be a deep urge to start a project. There can be aggression at work and frustrations at work. And maybe you realize you need to finally make that change. Maybe you need to stand up for yourself. Maybe you really need to set that boundary. Maybe you need to speak more of your truth. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but as long as you do it and you stop being pushed around, then powerful, powerful changes can definitely be made. And you're going to be listening to that deeper soulful insight and those instincts with what changes need to be made. What is that far off direction? What is that big picture that you're going towards, and how can you get into alignment with that? And when Mercury goes into the 9th house, this is a great time to reprogram your beliefs. What are your beliefs? What has been inspiring you and motivating you to go do big things out in the world? Is there limiting beliefs that have been stopping you? This is a great time to really rewrite those beliefs, so you can allow yourself to create more harmony and balance, and a vision full of beauty, joy, abundance, riches, passion, sensuality, whatever you want to create. How can you get into alignment with that vision and what you really truly believe that you can create? You can also go on some sort of spiritual path or spiritual journey that shifts your worldview in a certain way. Be careful of airport delays, like, though, with Mercury retrograding in the ninth. Oh, and like as I say that, the airports are literally, yeah, like having major issues right now because they're not getting paid. So watch out for that. But yeah, this is great time to kind of shift your world view so it's in alignment with what you believe now. And we are constantly evolving through our beliefs and our view of the world. So we can kind of have, a different, so we can step into this higher vision. And this is going to be a very powerful time to do that. Okay, so let's see what card comes out for you. But yeah, what motivates you with your career? What makes you feel, yeah, just how can you transform in your career? How can you take it to the next level? Or if you need to do less in your career, if you've been a workaholic, how can you do less? How can you prioritize doing what you love? Because when you prioritize what you love, you just, that's what you should be doing, actually. Instead of prioritizing work, you should be prioritizing doing what you love, because that's how you get into alignment with what you came here to do. And then life becomes easier, and then you create more harmony and beauty and magic in your life in a very easy way. So, Avebury matriarch. Okay, so let's see. I will guide you to discover the best way you can heal. This dragon comes in with the strength and power to delve deeper into our ancestral past and bring healing. She usually follows the matriarchal line back through the passage of time. She states, the time has come to release the chains and the binds that continued pain from your ancestors, which has been passed down from generation to generation. You do not need to own this, as it is not and never was your pain to bear. She reassures us it is safe to explore old family hurts and release them to her. If she has shown up today in your reading, ask her for wisdom to guide you in the best way to heal the past and move forward in your life. She says, I will guide you to discover the best way you can heal and leave pain of your ancestral past behind. Old family wounds only fester on a deeper level if not acknowledged and released. They serve you no purpose in your journey now. If the Avebury matriarch has flown into your awareness today, she wants you to visit an old natural temple, stone circle, or ancient sacred site and connect to the energy of the land there. She asks you to ground yourself, be still, and ask for guidance. Due to her connection with the Avebury hinge, she carries the incredible ancient energy that of old ways, shamanic healing, and of the ancestors of England. Her wisdom is as ancient as the land itself. So yeah, I really love this. I kind of want to pull one more for you because I almost accidentally pulled another one and I felt like I should have kept it, but I put it back. But yeah, this is kind of like getting rid of any of the chains that have been holding you back from deep ancestral roots. So you can be powerful with a different story out in the world. And it's going to be beautiful to kind of have this awareness with your career and with your overall vision and your beliefs and what is meaningful to you in life and what is your purpose in life and how can you get into alignment with that. And once you decide that, once you choose that within, then externally it's easier to it'll be easier to receive opportunities and people coming your way and to make the right decisions when Venus goes through the ninth house and the 10th house after this retrograde. So let me pull one more card. Delphine. Okay, so I already know this one. This one came out for Sagittarius. So this is basically about, are you letting the waters in the storm rule you, or are you letting yourself be the calm of the storm? You know, the more that you find that inner center and you're so in tune with your inner vision and you know what you want to protect, you know what is sacred to you, you know the life that you want to create, then yeah, you become that powerful center that can create whatever that can make the changes and put up the boundaries, or whatever, redirect your energy to what is worth your time and what is worth your energy. And yeah, it's all about like knowing your power to really, really do that and to let all the pains and hurts kind of wash away that were stopping you. So you can let those go, release, and step into a new version of you out in the world. All right, Aquarius, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Pisces. Okay, so with the Mercury retrograde starting in your ninth house, this has to do with your spiritual beliefs. This has to do with long distance travel. Don't long distance travel if you can avoid it, because you're going to have some issues probably, most likely. I mean, I know, like, you know, the airports right now are just overwhelmed because nobody's getting paid because the government shut down or whatever. So you know, be wary of that. But this is a great time to really, you know, if you've been meaning to learn something, if you've been wanting to start a spiritual practice, if you've been wanting to kind of find more meaning and purpose in life, this is a good time to do that. You can be very motivated to go in the right direction that is so soulfully aligned with you. And you're going to be feeling that passion. You'll feel that urge. You'll feel that, you know, sudden like need to kind of move in a certain direction. And sometimes it's random, you know, with the ninth house, sometimes it's like going towards your excitement or your curiosity or what you're passionate about and the inspiration. And that kind of takes you exactly where you need to go. So there can be, you know, just an urge, you know, to do something like that. And that is getting you where you want to go. At the same time, I love this because there can be like deep beliefs that you might have, and you didn't realize like maybe that these deeper emotions within you were holding you back in some way. So it could be like shame, guilt, resentment, or just frustration. If you're jealous, you want what they have, and it's time to give yourself permission. If you're depressed, you know, it's time to get angry and it's time to allow yourself to let your passion and drive like take you where you need to go. You know, listen to those emotions because that can help you bust through what you have been holding on to that you didn't know you were holding on to, that was actually controlling the way you see the world and the way what you believe in the world, because your beliefs create your reality. So this is your opportunity to kind of bust through limiting beliefs so you can reprogram what you want to believe emotionally. And you know, this is a lot of emotional like shedding too, because do you know, like, we carry our emotions create like patterns, like we carry our emotions stuck in our body, keep the patterns that we stick to, you know. So somatics has been so powerful, you know, because that helps you release like those trapped emotions in your body. And then you realize like how that was actually kind of ruling your life in some way. So there's so much like intelligence in the body, and this is how you can really, you know, reconnect with that, release what was keeping you heavier, dense, and stuck, so you can be freer out in the world. Because the ninth house at the end of the day was all about freedom. And then when the Mercury goes into the eighth house, you know, money wise, you should be doing, this is a great time to kind of renegotiate like your spending, your investments. The eighth house is shared resources, you know, anyone that you share resources with, you can, you know, negotiate things in a very positive way, because Venus is going to be going in the eighth too. You know, just where do you spend your time and your energy too? Because the eighth house is what do you truly value? What is deeply, deeply important to you? And you bringing more awareness to that lets you put up the boundaries so you can prioritize the right relationships and where you invest your time and your energy, and how you can, when you kind of go through a realization with that, you can just have a very big boost of putting your energy in the right direction. And yeah, that could be a really great time to refinance and do anything that is like financially beneficial, actually, with Venus moving in there and with Mercury moving in there. And then also getting rid of any limiting beliefs that have been keeping you stuck, that you didn't realize that, was stuffed down, that, okay. Yeah, eighth house is like emotions that we have been carrying, within us, jealousy, resentment, guilt. It's things we don't want to feel. So we don't want to show to other people. And, you have a tendency to do that, in the name of relationships. So this is you recognizing, maybe something comes up and you're realizing how you've been bending over backwards with relationships, how you need to, handle relationships in a better way that is, makes you more powerful. Let's see. Courage. Okay, courage came out. So there is probably some actions you can take, some conversations you need to have. The eighth house is all about having those conversations that are uncomfortable sometimes, with our significant others, with friendships. So we can be radically honest. And then when you're just honest, it just frees you, and you're honest to yourself first. It frees you from those obligations and the contracts or the relationships that just really aren't serving you anymore. So be brave, stand tall. You've got this. Oh, also, maybe you want to invest more of your time and energy in your own projects and in your own business. That could be a time for that. Okay. So this beautiful, powerful dragon comes to the fore when we need to be strong, usually on an emotional level. We may need her strength for many life situations. For example, we have lost a love or are making huge life changes, and we need an extra dose of courage. She is here to support you and anchor you to hold on to. She says, you're safe. It's fine to be strong and vulnerable at the same time. You are capable of a great many things, and it's time to acknowledge them and to believe in yourself. Your depth of character is your ally. Your ability and tenacity are your anchors. Now is the time to own them. Be brave, stand tall. You've got this. You are far braver than you give yourself credit for. If you find your courage failing and your self-doubt taking over, call upon courage until you find your feet. She will guide you through any challenging situation and support your self-belief. All you have to do is ask. She assures you that everything is exactly as it's supposed to be, even if you are unable to see the bigger picture. Courage is a perfect meditation partner. So yeah, you could be motivated to take certain actions out in the world, and maybe by you taking the actions, you will develop that courage. You will see all the ways that you might have been holding yourself back, trying to keep the peace, trying to not worry too much about what would they say or whatever. Instead, you're finding more of your boldness and more of your own courageousness and releasing any, pains, fears, doubts that were holding you back from going after that bigger vision that you're truly, truly passionate about and making those changes. And yeah, shooting for the stars, because the ninth house is where you're getting in touch with that vision and you're getting excited about it and you're finding that meaning. And it just takes going towards the thing or doing the thing to develop that courage. And yeah, in a very bold way. I love it. I'm excited to talk about Ophiuchus when Mars moves into Ophiuchus too. So yeah. All right, guys. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. All right, Aries, this one's definitely about relationships for you guys because the retrograde starting in the eighth house and then moving into the seventh house. This is where you need to have those deeper conversations that are uncomfortable. And it could be about money, it could be intimacy, it could be finances, all those things that we kind of put off because we know it's going to create drama or something, that we need to talk about now. So the more that you just lead with radical honesty in your relationships, the more things will be more harmonious, more balanced in your relationships, more just smooth and ironed out. And, there could be things, in the beginning of the retrograde that come up that like really trigger you, or maybe they're just a little intense. And it's like being just aware of that and being aware of those deeper emotions that are being stirred up so you can be radically honest with yourself and make those changes. Because the eighth house, can lead us to making changes in life. Where are we investing our time and our energy? Is it worth it? Is that job worth it? Do we need to ask for a raise? Have I been giving too much? Do I need to receive more? Have I not been allowing myself to start this business or show up out in the world in a certain way because I'm scared of what other people will say? You're really also getting in tune with your deeper passions, those deeper soul passions. And, so how can you be in alignment with all of that? This is a way to powerfully like renegotiate loans, maybe, I guess. Better when Venus moves into the eighth, moves into Scorpio, but this might bring some awareness to like your investments or your, the bulky money, where like that chunk, yeah, the chunkier money, where like changes maybe can be made so you can just be more abundant, so you can be powerful, so you can be not be afraid to like have a bunch of abundance. And yeah, this is a great time to get rid of any fears around abundance, anything that comes up that's like past programming or whatever about money and being able to make money and your worth and your value, and really prioritizing that. So your worth, your value, you're going to put up those boundaries, you're going to direct your focus on what is truly valuable to you so you can create more abundance. And then when Mercury goes into the seventh house, there's going to be more miscommunication with one-on-one relationships. But this is a great time to just get realigned in relationships in a really stronger way. With Venus, that's going to be moving into the seventh house. You can definitely find a higher alignment with relationships, relationships that are, like-minded and bring you a lot of fun and excitement and joy and inspiration. So you go in so yeah, you just have more joy in life, So you have your supportive tribe and your supportive soul family. And maybe if you've been needing to, have, just be a little bit more honest in your relationships, that's how you can get majorly aligned too. Okay, so balance. Balance, ooh, this is like the yin and the yang cards. So very kind of twin flame, divine counterpart. And, those aren't comfortable relationships. Spiritual relationships. Dan. I might have to go get Dan on the roof. I have a ladder that I have to climb up to go rescue Dan like twice a day because he jumps on the roof. He doesn't know how to get off the roof. So I go and get him off of the roof. Anyway. So balance, there's more balance that in harmony that can definitely be found in your relationships. What are you experiencing in your life now? What you are experiencing in your life now is transitional. This card balance depicts aspects of us as a whole our light and shadow sides. As humans, we show the world our many different sides, for we are multifaceted and can change from situation to situation. These aspects could include our compassion, frustration, love, irritation, joy, and so on. His appearance in your spread is to remind you that everything is perfect, even in the situation you find yourself in, is pushing your buttons. This is definitely frustrations with relationships, but realize like any relationship with that's the point of a relationship. So we trigger the darkest parts of ourselves. We face our shadows. They're our mirror. So we can become better versions of ourselves. So we can face, where we've been blocking ourselves off, where we've been not fully letting somebody in. But it's so we can face these things and be radically honest, even with our own shadow, because the right person will love your shadow. You'll love their shadow. We're all human. We all have a shadow. There's nobody that doesn't have a shadow. And those are the people that ignore their shadow actually are the ones, they go out perfect out in the world and they can do no wrong. And I'm the best. Like they're the ones that explode in private and like out of nowhere, and they're more vicious usually. So this is a time of, recognizing each other's shadows in relationships. So let's see in your spread. Balance says fear and frustration only serve one purpose, and that is about fear and frustration only serve one purpose, and that is to disempower. Yep. Life on earth is all about achieving a spiritual equilibrium, seeing things for what they are, balancing your daily activities and demands with life or with time to laugh and play. You run the risk of becoming too serious and caught up in your dramas that are unfolding in your life now by not allowing yourself time to play. Yeah, so you might be working too hard. There might be a need to reevaluate that. Maybe you've been taking life too seriously. There's just major programs in, the matrix right now, like you to be a serious person. That's a responsible person. But like when you don't allow yourself to play, you don't allow yourself to get that deeper soul insight and that connection to your higher self and everything. So yeah, maybe there's frustration that comes up. So you really get aligned and you are directing your time and your energy towards what you're really meant to be directing your time and energy on. And you're facing your own fears and frustrations that, you have now because you suppressed a certain emotion in the past that will definitely be coming up now. So you listen to that. But yeah, that's done on purpose. We're meant to feel a lot of fear and guilt and just be frustrated, so we don't have our own power. So this is, you're definitely getting fully more so embodied with this. You can call upon my energy and wisdom to guide you to be more balanced in how you feel or view or you can call upon my energy and wisdom to guide you to be more balanced in how you view or feel weird about your situation. I don't know why I was saying that. Okay. You cannot have darkness without light, the sun without the moon. Do you need to learn to say no or to look at your personal boundaries? Are they being crossed too often? Maybe you should say yes to things, although they make you fearful. Although they make you fearful, they will assist in your personal and spiritual growth. This actually has spelling errors. This isn't me. Okay. But yeah, sometimes like we repress something so much, we don't allow ourselves to go after the thing or to take the action when, this is where you can get that boost right now and be aware of it. Remember that you are experiencing in your life now is transitional. It won't last forever. This, like much of life, is a phase, a lesson, and it will soon pass. If you find yourself in a perplexing situation, ask for his wisdom to be bestowed upon you. Balance will guide you to understanding, to know in your heart what you can do, or indeed, if you need anything to do, or indeed, if you need to do anything at all. Sometimes all that is required is patience. Okay, that last part wasn't just me. I mean, it wasn't the book, it was me. Okay, guys, this is all about balance, possibly intense soul connections and everything, so you can find more balance and recognize, even if you're triggered in a relationship, it's always doing you a service. So you can find more balance and wholeness within yourself and recognizing more of your own power. All right, Aries, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Taurus. Okay, so this is starting in your seventh house and then moving into your sixth house. So this is all about your relationships. This could be your marketing strategy to clients if you own a business. And this is about your work and your daily life and your routines and your daily habits and what you eat, how you take care of yourself. Do you exercise? What do you prioritize in your everyday life? What are your habits? What actions do you take every day? And how can you get more in alignment with that? So with the retrograde starting in your seventh house, relationship with Mars, relationships could be a little bit more frustrating right now. There could just be those deeper triggers that you get sometimes with relationships. But at the end of the day, that's always doing you a service, because relationships are mirrors, and relationships will always mirror to you what you need to know to be a more powerful version of you, someone who recognizes your whole shadow. You can become aware of your own shadow and your own light when you integrate the shadow, and you just see what was within you that's coming into your orbit in the form of a person, so you can recognize more of your value and more of your worth, and face some of your own fears and all of that. There could be just an aggravating person that comes into your life just because Mercury is going to be retrograding right on Mars right in the beginning. But yeah, recognize that as an opportunity to have those deeper, vulnerable conversations, to practice more radical honesty, so you can create those deep and intense, those deep relationships that are truly, truly safe. You know, you're allowing yourselves to see the light in the dark, and, that's the best way to just have a relationship that is just so like deep and in sync and tight. And then when Mercury goes retrograde in your sixth house, you're reevaluating what do you do every day, and how can you, change things up, maybe reorganize the office. Maybe you need to change your schedule. Maybe you need to eat better. Maybe you need to exercise. Maybe you need to, just change things up. And you can do this in a really nice way, actually, with Venus entering the sixth house too. This is like, maybe you want to hire somebody, and this would be a great time to do that. Maybe there's just a way you can reorganize things when it comes to your routines to make them beautiful, to make them beneficial. Maybe you've been doing too much of the housework. Maybe your partner has. This is where you would kind of reorder that, balance things out, prioritize the things that are really important to you. So yeah, let's pull a card. Crystal, I love this. So I think this is a galactic dragon too. So crystal dragon. And that reminds me of like kind of raising up in vibration for sure. When you change your daily life and your habits to what is really important to you, prioritizing your joy, prioritizing peace, harmony, love, beauty, then you get to raise your vibration, and life becomes easier. Life becomes more beautiful. You get to recognize your ability to create, and more so in the present moment, your ability to manifest in the present moment. Maybe you need to be planning less so you can recognize more of your power in the now at any present moment. So yeah, let me guide you. Let me guide you in flowing with, sorry, I gotta breathe. Okay. Let me guide you in flowing with the rhythm of your life. This beautiful and peaceful dragon's main role as a galactic dragon is to support all indigo and crystal children who have special and unusual abilities and traits. Adults with those on the autistic spectrum, she is, in fact, named after the crystal children. She fully understands the complexities and can accompany these children and adults. So she is here to support them and their families as much as possible. She urges us to explore their richness of talent in whatever area works for them. For example, this could be numbers, sports, art, music, or pottery, or anything that allows the mind to unleash the creativity to flow. She understands the classroom with its restraints and the rules of quiet and concentration often does not work for these natural, inquisitive, artistic souls. If Crystal has swooped into your cards today, she encourages you to add color, vibrancy, or shape to your life in any way you are drawn to. She asks, have you become too rigid in your thinking, expectations, or outlook on life? Let me guide you in flowing with the rhythm of life. Because yeah, the sixth house ruled by Libra for Taurus, actually, I'm thinking you are supposed to just be more so attuned to vibration in your everyday life. And that's kind of how you can find more lightness and ease and beauty and co-creation with others. So if you're too rigid in scheduling, like really just pay attention to more so to your vibration and your ascension and following your joy, following your passion, so you can reorganize things in that way. And loosen any feelings of tension from your body. Allow your mind to daydream. Let it explore new possibilities, find creative pursuits, and free your soul. Our lives rarely flow along a straight route. They are always full of twists and turns. She goes on to say, learn to follow the ebb and flow of the tide of your existence here on earth. Struggle and resistance do not serve you. They simply frustrate and vex you. She asks us why we do a job we hate or stay with a partner we can't communicate with. If it makes us unhappy, be true to yourself, be authentic in your life, and allow yourself to let go of all that doesn't bring warmth to your very being. Crystal encourages us to follow our dreams, live our joy, and be open to new possibilities. So yeah, this Mercury retrograde, you're definitely really meant to follow your joy, follow your happiness, what's in your everyday life that you have outgrown, because the sixth house can be people, work, projects, something that we've just been doing that really isn't serving us right now. So the more that you can get into alignment with your joy and with what makes you feel good, the more you can create more abundance in your life, the more you can meet the right people, the right relationships, the more you can just move and flow through life versus being too stuck or rigid. And yeah, don't hold on to anything, because the sixth house is where we evolve out of physical karma. So it could be, yeah, anything like that. So when you let go of that, it creates more alignment with your inner self and your higher self, and you give yourself the freedom to co-create your reality in a higher dimensional way. With the crystal, dragon, you're definitely meant to. All right. So if you would like a reading, Taurus, check out my link in bio. All right, Gemini. So this is happening in your sixth house and your fifth house. So the sixth house is your daily habits, your routines, your work, your health, your diet. What do you do physically in your everyday life? What are you always preoccupied with? And what's serving you and what's not serving you? Because this is the time where you can definitely go through an evolution, and maybe you get frustrated with something. Maybe you need to reorganize, things at work or something around your house, or maybe you're just feeling the urge to like work out and eat better and take care of yourself. I'm saying like urge because like Mars is here. So you're going to be feeling motivated to do those things and to let go of the things that aren't serving you. There could be a work project that's just not fitting, or a conversation at work that maybe makes you decide to change something, to switch jobs, to hire somebody new, to work with somebody else, whatever. Listen to those deeper emotions, because this is guiding you with what changes you can make and where you need to go, so you can fuel that passion and fire into something that is deeply fulfilling to you. Because that's what's being called for with Scorpio. It's asking you to, if you're feeling shame, guilt, resentment, whatever, those deeper, yucky emotions, acknowledge it, make the change, do the thing, and then become that best version of you, and then go towards your passion projects and what really truly motivates you and what feels good to your soul. And with it going into the 5th house, this is, what do you do for fun? You're really thinking about what you do for fun. Where do you spend your creative energy? And is it towards creative projects? Are you, expressing yourself in the way that you want to express yourself? Are you really putting it out there? Is there a way that you're suppressing your creative energy and putting it towards the things that aren't really helpful to you? Like going out to the bar all the time, or every once in a while it's good, but like, is there too much of that? Is there, what is fun to you at that higher level, actually, that can help you kind of like rise into that higher version of yourself? Because Libra is like always asking you to kind of go higher in general. And who are you hanging out with? Are your relationships truly satisfying to you? Are they co-collaborative? Are they exciting? There can be miscommunication in relationships or creative projects, but this is a time to really rework things. One second. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. But at the end of the day, it looks all good with Venus going into the 5th house. This is a time for you to express yourself the way you want to express yourself. You will be more charming. You will be more fun. You will, it's easier to have a good time. You can really pour your essence into creative projects and everything, and that can be really fulfilling. You can have fun with your kids and have conversations with your kids that are really beneficial to you and to them. And yeah, it can be really nice. And yeah, if you've been wanting to start a creative project or like start a YouTube or whatever, this is a great time to do it after the retrograde. And yeah, let's see. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. Illuminaire. So I love this. I got this earlier actually, but I'm going to reread it again. But Illuminaire is all about like, how have you been holding yourself back from being that, brilliant version of yourself? And it could be from pain, past, like, sorrows. The 6th house, sometimes we can be, we can have some obligations to people for a little bit. Or work that we take on for a little bit, but this is like resolving karma from past lives sometimes, or, it's just something we need to do to really like build character. But, the 6th house is, once we realize what we're evolving out of, then we kind of get more freedom to really live our everyday lives in the way that we want to live it. Okay, so Illuminaire. Only truth has integrity and can stand the test of time. If you have picked a Illuminaire today, hear this message. I illuminate what can't be seen, that which is hidden within you. Your truth needs to be seen and shared. You cannot hide behind your mask forever. Your shields of false protection don't serve you. Only truth has integrity and can stand the test of time. Illuminaire is the first dragon I met who holds angelic as well as dragon energy. In this case, from the Archangel Uriel. Illuminaire appears when we are not listening, when we have been resisting what needs uncovering and changing within our lives. This is usually of a spiritual or personal nature. Rest assured, you are now ready to deal with whatever has been lurking in the depths of your being. Whether this is a spiritual awakening or deep personal healing, it is ready to be activated. The spiritual message is this: spiritual warriors of Earth. Collectively, we can change the world through humankind is not yet ready. Oh, wait. We can change. Although humankind is not yet ready for us in all our might, you and many others like you are preparing the way, anchoring the light into the planet. Are you ready to continue your amazing journey of empowerment? The Luminary invites you to see the truth in all situations. He says, do not fear this illumination. Truth is a liberating and powerful ally. Your fears lie with change, but open your heart and welcome it to your core, allowing the light to guide you forward. So yeah, this is a time to be radically honest in your life with yourself and then with others. So you can go in the right direction, open up the paths that are truly meant for you. You're meant to be a guiding light out in the world. You might be meant to go first. But yeah, Scorpio ruling your sixth house. This is definitely like you have a powerful tendency to just anchor light in your everyday life, with the people around you and everything, and with work and with projects. So know your ability to do that. And, just be radically honest with what you need to, get to the bottom of. And yeah, then you can realize what you want to spend your creative energy on, what you want to manifest more of your life, what you want to physically do every day to go after your goals and do what you really want to do, and, going after your passions. Because you should be passionate about your work and, what you really want to do. So head in that direction. All right, Gemini, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Cancer. How's it going? Oh, I'm on my period. I just started like cramping. I don't know if that has any significance to anything, but okay. So this Mercury retrograde starts in your fifth house. So this could have to do with your kids, creative projects, your self-expression, your creativity. Where's your creativity going? Is it going towards your manifestations? Is it going towards having too much fun? Do you need to reevaluate that? And do you need to go more so after your soulful passions and your soulful desires? Because sometimes the cool thing to do could be like going out to the bar and drinking and doing like mindless shit that is promoted so much in society. Or maybe you should really do the thing that you want to do, which could be a weird thing or whatever. But the more you go after it, the more you find that deeper soulful fulfillment and your own transformation. So there can be conversations that can be had and everything. There could be you could be having some frustration with kids, but this is an opportunity to maybe have those deeper conversations, to maybe change your outlook on things, to maybe revisit the past and your childhood. With Mercury going into the fourth house too, this is like reevaluating the deep past and your roots and your ancestry, and be the black sheep, evolve out of these things so you can transmute and make things lighter. And when you get through those darker things, then you can find more balance, harmony, peace, deeper love, more. You allow yourself to prioritize those good things a little bit more, and to create that safety net, create those boundaries, with things that are really meaningful to you. With Mercury going back and forth or retrograding in the fourth house, this is a good time to reorganize the house, rearrange the house. If you've been looking to move, this could be a good time to kind of look around, because with Venus that's going to be going into the fourth house, it's going to be easier to find some place that you really, really love. It's a good time to beautify the home and everything. Do any work around the house. And have those it looks like definitely like with Venus moving the fourth house too, you can totally have those deeper, meaningful conversations with family if you've been needing to have, conversations and be just so transparent with yourself and who you are now. But you can find, that deeper love and honesty and safety in those relationships. So let's see. Let's pull a card. Lord who who me. Okay, so let's see what he's about. And I think that's 20. I almost said the Roman numeral 1010, but it's literally just two tens, two X's together. So that therefore it's 20. Oh, okay. So you are the change. I love that. When Lord Kuthumi first arrives, he lost no time informing me who he was. I am the Dragon Elder and spokesdragon for the Galactic Council. He went on to say, if you desire to be able to hold the energies of the fifth to the seventh dimensions, you need to be clear of all your earthly woes and fears and your deep need for control. Your light bodies need to be in alignment with those of the earth and the astrological light matrix. Oh, that's why you should only do sidereal, not tropical. And I'm going to make a video about that. But that you can't be aligned. There's no way you can be aligned with the astrological light matrix, which I haven't heard about that until now, using tropical. Okay. So only then will you become a tool and a tuning device to lift the energy of the planet. As more of you gather together to do this work, the greater will be your chance of bringing lasting peace to Earth. Lord Kuthumi went on to explain why dragons are here collectively. We have come because lasting peace is achievable on Earth. There are other galaxies beyond your human understanding at this time where it has happened. We dragons are as old as the universe itself and have encountered and witnessed humanity in all its guises through the ages. You are the change. So yeah, this is kind of crazy. It's like you're grounding peace on Earth, like even more so. I think you're definitely a powerful tool in this ascension time, or your being, your body is, you are the anchor of the higher dying. What did I write down earlier? This totally applies to this. It's not about living life, it's literally about anchoring the higher dimensions into this reality. Where the hell did I even write that? But I literally wrote that today too. So that's kind of like what you're really meant to focus on. So the more that you focus on your passion, prioritize your passion and your joy and your peace and your enlightenment, you will be supported more so by the universe. And you're grounding the higher frequencies into this reality. Let me find it. We are not here to divide reality by time, hours, days. We are here to integrate reality by weaving the intersections of dimensions. So the more that you allow yourself to go towards what feels good and prioritize that, the more you are just grounding those higher dimensions into your home environment and creating safety and creating a vibrant bubble around you in your community. All right, Cancer, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. All right, Leo. So this is starting in your fourth house and then moving into your third house. So with Mars and Mercury in the fourth house, this is definitely going to bring up some deep triggers with family, potentially. or people that you live with, or it could just be like a deeper internal wounds that you had internally that you didn't realize that you had. And then it like this happens and it just kind of comes up in a, purge a little bit. But realize every single time you do that, the more you release, the more you lighten yourself up, you get that shit out of your body, the more you are able to just have those strong boundaries and create that peace, love, and stability and security, and just a higher vibrational environment, in your home, like where you're really anchored in. So let the triggers come up. Oh, like God, I'm sorry. Like, oh my God. I've like, oh. As soon as Mercury moved into Scorpio, I swear to God, ugh, like that's what I feel. So you're gonna have a lot of those moments, and you're like, you need to face this. There's different ways to like really like process it and like just really journal it out, get to the deeper root of things, be radically truthful and honest with the people that you really, really need to talk to, because you are finding your core in a whole new powerful way, and you are transmuting like a mother effer. I'm trying to not to cuss. Anyway, and then with it going into the third house, you are reorganizing. What do you do in your everyday life? The third house is kind of like, it can be our errands. It's just what we do every single day. It's like our hobbies. It's our skills. It's things we maybe need to learn. The things we can kind of boost our knowledge up on, so we can kind of have a little bit more freedom in life, or do something in a better way. This is going to be a great time to have fun with siblings and everything. Be aware of miscommunication, I guess, but it's not bad or anything, because Venus is coming in here, and it's like, okay, good time to hang out with like siblings and maybe the neighborhood. Maybe you're moving away from the nasty neighbor like me. Hallelujah. And feeling good about it. Yeah, when this is a great time to redo things with social media. If you're online, if you need to think about like a project that you're writing and creating, it's a brilliant time to really create something. Writing, blogging, any sort of airy communication thing. Great time to really revise the way you do things, so you can align it more so with how you want to do things and align it with your internal being. Yeah, I would say tech issues, be careful. Oh, protect your phone. I just got like a screen protector, because as soon as I peel it off, I'm like, okay, we need to hold this for dear life, because literally my phone's like a hockey puck. Like I'll toss it towards anything, and I can't help it. Like it rockets off, it slings, smash down on the ground, and everyone's like, oh, like it's a that it's just a common occurrence for me. So I like get the best screen protector and phone case and everything with that. But yeah, tech issues can kind of happen with Mercury retrograding in the third, but I think it's, great to just like, everything happens for a reason. It's just a way that you can do things in a better way. And yeah, let's pull a card for you. But yeah, this is my first time dealing with like really observing Mercury while it's in real Scorpio. And God, you feel it. You feel it. But yeah, great time to reprogram any deeper things from the past. Okay, Illuminaire. And this came up for two other people too, two other signs. So Illuminaire, and I keep on saying this too. Like I said this before this reading, actually, I was like emphasizing truth and radical honesty, because when you don't, when you ignore the truth or when you suppress the truth and you act like everything's fine, it keeps on enabling like the shadow in such subtle ways that actually control your whole life. So radical truth and honesty will always set you free, and definitely embrace that. So only truth has integrity and can stand the test of time. If you have picked a luminaire and you can speak truth with kindness, obviously, but truth. If you have picked a luminaire today, hear this message. I illuminate what can't be seen, that which is hidden within you. Your truth needs to be seen and shared. You cannot hide behind your mask forever. Your shields of false protection don't serve. You only don't serve you. Only truth has integrity and can stand the test of time. A luminaire is the dragon I met who also holds angelic as well as dragon energy. In this case, from Archangel Uriel. A luminaire appears when we are not listening and have been resisting what needs covering and changing within our lives. This is usually of a spiritual or personal nature. Rest assured, you are now ready to deal with whatever has been lurking in the depths of your being. Whether this is a spiritual awakening or deep personal healing, it's ready to be activated. The rest of this message is this: spiritual warriors of Earth, collectively, we can change the world through humankind, or although humankind is not yet ready for us in all our might. You and others like you are preparing the way, anchoring the light into this planet. Are you ready to continue your amazing journey of empowerment? Illuminaire invites you to see the truth in all situations. He says, do not fear this illumination. Truth is a liberating and powerful ally. Your fears lie with change, but open your heart and welcome it to your core, allowing the light to guide you forward. So yeah, this can like illuminate like some deeper truths within you where you can be radically honest with yourself. And when you do that, you can set yourself free. You can be honest with everybody else around you and, be liberated and really see how things can evolve and change and be transmuted. And with Ophiuchus, like down here ruling like our core, like we are meant to be like the core, transmutive like light beings, and to ground like the higher dimensional energies into this reality. And it's not comfortable. Nobody said it was an easy job, but we can really cut through some past stories or our own illusions, or just our own subconscious fears, to really break out into more light and more paths and more abundance and more success and all the good things. All right, Leo, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Virgo, last one. I'm glad I'm almost done because it was like cooler today, but now it's like blazing hot. That's also why the sun's in Libra, because like, you get like, we're in between seasons right now. We're like really getting into the fall, anyway. Okay, so the Mercury retrograde starts out in your third house. So the third house is your siblings, it's your communication, it's your mentality, it's the way you speak, it's the way you think, it's the way you write. What do you do in your every daily basis? And is it getting you to that higher place? I love the third house because it is like, if you do like if you're just more present and more consciously aware of what you do on your daily basis, you give yourself so much more power. You can set yourself free. You can allow yourself to go more towards your passion projects and this deeper soulful evolution that you're craving. And with Mercury retrogrades, it's a great time to reprogram any limiting mindsets. They'll come to the surface. You'll feel it. It might not feel great, but when you feel that, deeper emotion, then you know what you need to change. And, what you were, just containing within you. So you can rewrite that story, rewrite the narrative, see where you want to feel better and, go after the thing. And, this could bring up like, just be aware of like online fights or whatever. Don't take it out on the internet, you know, or at siblings, this like be wary of siblings during this time. Like a trigger, it's always for your benefit anyway, because then you can recognize like the deeper wounds that was maybe within you that was aggravating, neighbors, be careful with that. But yeah, this can be just a powerful way to like channel your passion and that energy, online into, passion projects, into writing projects, blogs, something that is a project or a talent or a skill that you have. So you can be, just feel better and channel that energy into something that feels good. So when, and maybe you want to monetize your skill and your talent with this retrograde, because with Mercury moving into the second house, you're reviewing your finances and the way you make money, your income, and you can maybe get that inspiration from within. So you want to make money in a new way. You really know what you value. You want to prioritize what you value so you can spend more of your daily life on that. Yeah, you can get rid of any old money stories pretty easily if you work with that, if you listen to subliminals or reprogram your subconscious mind, or with any limiting money stories, up leveling your values to who you are now. Okay, so that's it. Let's pull a card. And with Venus going into the second house, you should be able to receive more money also. And if you've been needing to have conversations, this would be a good time. Beware of miscommunication at first and car issues, actually. With Mars and Mercury, and car issues, like Mars and Mercury in general for everybody, actually, but especially for you in the third house. Car issues, get everything taken care of. I gotta go to the DMV. Drive carefully. Okay. Peace. So you're finding more peace. And I love this card because it's really dark. It is very Scorpio, like, so let's see, peace. All right, peace, allow me to pull together your scattered energies. This beautiful, gentle dragon encourages us to be kind to ourselves. We frequently push ourselves too hard in our lives. Whether this is at work or at home, we forget who we truly are and can miss the beauty in life as we become self-absorbed. This dragon's energy guides us to an inner tranquility, helping us to feel and trust that everything is fine. Finally, we begin to see and understand the beauty and lessons in all things. Although incredibly powerful, this tranquil dragon brings the energy of gentle bliss, like the early morning sun, giving us a sense of completeness we have previously lacked. She has come to you today. Her message is this: allow me to pull together your scattered energies so that you can feel a sense of peace enter your soul. Every situation has a legacy, but alas, occasionally it can take a little time to appreciate or understand this fully. Let my presence help release any negative feelings, for you are truly a creator and are immensely powerful. By allowing peace to enter our lives, we enable our very beings to carry more light. We become beacons for others to follow, but in order to do this effectively, we must release our need for control. If life has been dull, or you are feeling generally out of sorts, call upon peace to lift up your blues. She will support you by showing you the beauty of life and helping you to celebrate your experiences here on Earth. But remember, you can only do this if you relinquish your need to control. When you do so, you will feel lighter, brighter, and more connected to the universe. So yeah, there with Scorpio energy, you can be so tunnel visioned in towards like projects, and you can have so much motivation and just like be busy, busy, busy. But at the same time, the best way to like be busy in your everyday life and, you know, doing it in a very intentional way with connecting to your inner being first and to creating that inner peace within you first, so you know what to prioritize. And when you find that peace aura within you first, you get to start kind of radiating it out into your reality, into people around you in your everyday life. And you can really become an anchor of peace. You can become the eye of the storm that kind of calms everybody down. It gets everybody to focus more so on the right things versus creating a bunch of drama in their life or whatever. All right, Virgo, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. I hope you have an amazing retrograde, because they don't have to be bad. They can be amazing. Actually, they are very useful for that overall internal alignment.